today, leaving Burgos. This is the castle, and I think we're going actually under that little tunnel to reconnect with the Camino. But this is a little path that they've got here all along the river. It's a continuation of where we walked yesterday. Beautiful town. And now that it's morning, when you pass through the tunnel you just saw, you come into the cathedral square, which there's my trusty camera lady. And the square is empty, of course, because this is a Sunday morning here, May 25, I think, or 26th. But the cathedral square is empty because everyone's still in bed. So this is the first village we reach today, leaving Burgos, called 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, which is really about halfway, a little bit more than halfway to our next stop, Hornillos something or another. There is a church here, and you can see up at the top 2 storks' nests occupied with storks and baby storks. Pretty cool. We'll try to get a picture as we get up closer. The road today so far has been pretty decent. Stone, crushed stone. It's been dry, so not a lot of mud or anything. We did do a little stretch along the highway, but not too bad and not much. So all in all, so far so good. So you come around the corner and nice church here in the middle of a little square. And that's where we were seeing those storks. It looks like there's a nest on each corner of the bell tower. And you can see them up there perched, doing their thing. So most of the path today has been this kind of crushed stone, so pretty comfortable to walk on. We're about to do the uphill that takes us to over a little crest to Hornillos. As you can see, the road just goes on and on and on, and there's some trees out in the way out, but nothing near us. So we're walking along here, the last stretch going up and over to Hornillos. And even though it's warmed up a little bit, it's only about 15 degrees Celsius. You do the math on Fahrenheit, but not so bad. Not a lot of shade, but don't really need it. So far the temperature's still very, very pleasant. So this is the last stretch downhill toward Hornillos del Camino. If you look up, we came from up there. So most of the walk after the second little village was uphill, and then a very steep downhill just behind us. And now this drops down into the valley and the village. It's a small 158 population, 3 restaurants, but hopefully from what we saw online looks very appealing. And today I'm going to try to remember to take photos of food.
Hello. So today we made it from Burgos to Hornillos del Camino. Today's May 25th. And so the weather was actually okay. I mean, it got a little warm. I was down to just a t-shirt hiking, but it was 65 degrees. So even though there's no shade at all and the sun was out, it wasn't that bad because it was a nice mountain breeze. If you're coming later in the summer to Hornillos, so you know in Spanish means little ovens, and that's the name of this place. It's very, very small, and a very important warning. So when we got here, the guy who runs the place we're staying, the little rural house, told us that there are 3 restaurants in town. One, I won't mention, but he said, do not go there. Everyone that goes there has a miserable experience. The 2 that are worth going to, one is called Casa de Manolo, which is the one we went to, and it's open for lunch. The other one is not. And the one that's open for dinner is called Origin, in Spanish, Origen, so like origin, but with an EN at the end. The warning, aside from the fact that there's a dearth of restaurants, is that when we got to Casa Manolo, we got there at 12:30. It was already full. They only serve food inside, even though there's a terrace. Don't be fooled, because some people were. They said, "Oh, have a beer outside and then go into and inside and eat or order food from the terrace." They do not serve food on the terrace. And once they get to about 2:15, 2:30, which for Spain is early, impossible. And that's what the guy says, impossible. No more tables, no more food. So we got there at around 12:30. Like I said, the indoor was full. There was one table waiting ahead of us. So we had to wait about 20 minutes, and we got in, and good food. I mean, it's a plain, simple meal, simple menu, good dessert and all that. But the warning is, get here early. Try to get here before noon to make sure you eat, because if not, good news is there's right across from where we're staying, there's a convenience store, and it's more or less well stocked, so you could buy fruit. They've got some like dried, prepare in a microwave kind of stuff, so depending on where you're staying, you can do that. But the food thing is an issue here in Hornillos, so make sure you get here early. The route here was fine. I've got video of the road and everything. Very, very good. So other than that, uneventful, but beware of the food thing. And then, of course, I'm lying here because I'm still dealing with my, shin splints or pulled shin or whatever. So I've gotten different medications. I've got my brace that I'm using, and I bought this kind of like icy hot cream here locally that really burns. So I'm hoping with elevation and such, I'll continue to make it. I had no cramps today, so that was a good thing. So more tomorrow. Raquel tells me that we now have 9 days that are relatively short, kind of like today, so 15-ish miles. And we're entering the part that's called the Meseta, which is like the Great Plains, very flat land, wheat, cereals, alfalfa, but flat, which is good for me because my issue here, mainly in terms of aggravating this thing, is going downhill, which we had some of today. So hopefully I'll recover during those 9 days, because then we get to Galicia and the hills and the mountains start again, and it's going to get a little more tricky. I think that's it for today, and we'll see you in the morning.